Hello and welcome to the Grocery Shop for Free podcast. I am your host, Aaron Farmer. I guess I should say my last name. My lovely co-host will not be joining us today. She is feeling under the weather, which made for a very interesting morning. So we're running a little bit late on and not exactly on all cylinders. But I am joined by a fantastic guest. Her name is Franceen. Is it Friefeld?
Friefeld,
sorry.
Yeah. Okay.
So Franceen, she's got unique inside knowledge of the food industry. She has a practical approach to nutrition. And Franceen has become a champion and leading voice on identifying the healthiest eating strategies and foods on the market that comfortably fit today's lifestyle. Franceen's proven strategies provide the skills needed to navigate today's health marketplace with command and confidence. Franceen has over 30 years of extensive experience as a food industry dietitian, published nutrition author, expert speaker, media professional, and TV host. As the food industry's nutrition leader, she has created healthy dining programs for consumers in over 6,000 food establishments nationwide. Franceen is a frequent contributor to the media and author of The Healthy Way and Fill Up, Not Out, which is rated one of the 5 top self-help programs by AboutNutrition.com. And her latest publication is Healthy Meals for Your Busy Life Cookbook. Franceen, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
So before we get into our topic today, and by the way, our topic is losing weight on a budget. This is something that is very near and dear to my heart. Your I guess organization, what is it called? Plated
Concepts. Yep.
Plated Concepts. So what is that, and what do you do?
Plated Concepts is a firm that works with manufacturers, the food industry, manufacturers and restaurants, and helps them to design healthier programs, healthier menus, healthier food products, so that we can serve the need today for healthier foods. There's just such a great need out there. I've been
working directly with the food manufacturers.
Yes, okay. and companies, restaurant companies and food service. But I am changing a bit of my focus. I've been working inside the industry for over 30 years. And there's just so much confusion out there now with the consumers about what to purchase, what to order, what to buy. And I guess I've become kind of fed up a little bit with the things that I'm hearing in the media about how to lose weight, eat this, don't eat that, GMOs, how do I read this package, conflicting products, that I feel it's my time to now bring this information to the consumer and let them know the kind of hidden secrets about really what goes on in the kitchen in the restaurant and what goes on with the labels and manufacturers.
So before we get to talking about how to lose weight on a budget, let's just talk about losing weight and getting healthy in general, because it sounds like you're the person we need to talk to. Your video went away. All right, can you hear me still? Franceen, come back. All right, bear with us, folks. We've got a little bit of technical difficulties. Franceen has just been beamed away by aliens, or perhaps she just lost connection. One of those two things has happened. Franceen, we're going to hold on for just a second. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause this recording, and we'll come back as soon as you call back in. All right, we're back. Sorry about that confusion. All right, so I guess what I was going to ask before we were interrupted is, what is healthy? Like if I was going to eat healthy, what is that? Define that for me.
Yeah, it's so confusing because you ask 10 people the definition of health, you'll get 10 different answers.
Exactly.
Healthy is a bunch of things together, but it's about getting adequate amounts of nutrition to optimize function of your body, basically.
All right.
And nutrients come from a bunch of different sources. But basically what I look for when I'm looking for a healthy food is one that has a lot of nutrients in it for the amount of calories that it's giving you.
Okay.
So, it's not just a matter of looking at nutrient-dense food. So you want to say, okay, well, I need to get, 10 grams of fiber. How are you going to get that 10 grams of fiber? Are you going to get it from, 500 calories of cookies that have some fiber in it? Or are you going to get it from 100 calories of apple? So, it's the switch off of how many nutrients, the best bang for your buck, if you will.
Right.
so that you're getting a good exchange of calories for nutrition.
Sure.
And it's not just about calories. It really isn't, but it's the smartest source of calories for your body is really what you're looking for. And I think that's where a lot of people get confused because, they're trying to cut down on calories. So, they disregard nutrients. And then on the other hand, they're looking for just nutrition and they disregard calories. So, to me, that's the best definition of health.
So what are some examples of like nutrient dense or healthier foods versus they're not as healthy,
Yep.
They're kind of the same thing, but not as healthy.
Right. So, for instance, if you want to look at, and I'll talk about oil a bit because that's a good one. When you're talking about healthy fat, for example, I mean, they say that you really should be getting in healthy fats, not saturated fat, but the healthy fat. All fats have about 100 calories for every tablespoon, which is very, very concentrated. Along with healthy fat, like the olive oil and the canola oil, you're getting a lot of other nutrients in it as well as the ability to help with heart disease and other ailments. So it's a very healthy source of those calories. So I'd say those healthy sources of fats is a healthy option to choose. When you're looking at other products, for instance, let's go down the cookie aisle. Look for those that don't have sugar as the first ingredient. So there's a whole, if you look at the word whole as the first ingredient, that will give you the indication that you've got some goodness in that cookie as well, not just sugar and fat. Right. So, it depends on the makeup of the food. So if you're talking about all types of carbohydrates, so let's say the breads, it's the same sort of thing. It's not just the brown breads that are healthy. People look at the brown breads and say, oh, it's brown, so it's healthy. Not necessarily so. It could be molasses that's making it brown. So you need to pick up the package and say whole being the first ingredient. Okay. So, for breads and carbohydrates, that's to look for the whole grains. And for frozen and packaged foods, again, looking at the ingredients is really a good way of indicating what's in the product. And the shorter the ingredient list, usually the healthier the product, the less stuff that they've added to it.
So we have a couple people in chat that are saying that they eat a Pop-Tart every morning to get their fruit for the day. Is that a wise thing to do, or is it maybe something they should avoid?
Well, I never say avoid favorites ever because, it's just not about that. And that's what kind of makes me a little bit frustrated with the marketplace. And people say, I'm never going to go to Burger King again. I'm never going to eat a Pop-Tart again. Is it the best source of fruit? No. Does it have some fruit in it? Probably a little bit, but not enough to give you the nutrients from fruit. So I'd say have your Pop-Tart, have a fresh fruit with it, or have half the Pop-Tart and then have some fruit with it. But is it your source of nutrients you're going to get from a fruit? No. Is it that bad? No.
I don't think anyone's ever eaten half a Pop-Tart.
So they have a whole Pop-Tart and a fruit, So it's really not, there's no such thing as good and bad food. And my children, my boy loves Pop-Tarts. We buy them for him. So he has them once in a while.
All right. Sounds good. So let's break it down like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So what is a breakfast we should look for versus a breakfast we should avoid? And then let's go to lunch. Let's go to dinner. What do we do?
Well, I guess I'll start off when you ask me the definition of healthy. I think a good way of looking at this to really simplify things and everything we're learning in the marketplace or learning bad things and good things, but some of it that, you should leave out protein and just eat carbs. You should just eat carbs, leave out protein. You should have, how do you mix your foods? Like all these different definitions of what to do. The really helpful, easiest way to look at it is in a form of a 50-25-25 mix. Okay. That's the mix I preach. And it really is the best mix for weight control, for health, for heart health, for diabetes. All of these ailments and all of these things are looking for a solution that's easy to implement in today's busy world too, and that is the 50-25-25. So what that means is that 50% of your mix, your shopping cart, your plate, your day, should be fruits and vegetables. A quarter of that mix should be grains, like complex carbohydrates, which are grains, preferably whole grains, but doesn't always have to be whole wheat pasta. It can be white pasta sometimes. So grains, and in that group is also the starchy vegetables like potatoes and corn. So that would be 25% of your mix. And then 25% is proteins, lean proteins. And then with that mix is a smidgen of healthy fat to prepare things with, or put salad dressing on your salad and those types of things. So that is the mix to try to follow at every meal. So as an example, for a healthy breakfast, a lot of people will grab a muffin or a fruit muffin with a coffee and think that's fine. Well, there's nothing wrong with that, but where's the protein? And where's the fruit or vegetable? So if you look at it that way, you're saying, okay, fine, the muffin's great, but I'm missing a glass of milk for my protein, or I'm missing a piece of cheese, and I'm missing a fruit. So you look at that mix all the time. So cereal, great, fine. Have it with milk or have it with yogurt. And again, make sure you get your fruit in there for breakfast. So there are a lot of breakfasts you can do, and you can work on that strategy of 50, 25, 25 and apply it to anything, to eggs. You have your eggs, but make sure you have some toast with it, and make sure that you've got some vegetables like in the omelet. Put some vegetables in the omelet, or have some fruit on the side, so that you're eating in that smart way.
So if you had someone, if you had two people, and one was relatively healthy weight, body mass, all that, versus someone who, let's say, they've got 100 pounds or 50 pounds to lose, would you recommend different diets for these two people? Are there different things that they should be doing?
I would say that it's still the mix.
Okay.
Still go with that mix, because it's the best for health as well, best for appetite control, which you want to do and have all the time. But I would say that for the person who's trying to lose weight, it's less of the mix. So it would be lower in calories. So you wouldn't have as large portions within that mix, but it would still be in the proportion of 50, 25, 25. Okay. But for the person that doesn't have to lose weight, their 50, 25, 25 would be of a bigger amount, but it's still in the same proportions of foods. You're still trying to eat 50% of your mixed fruits and vegetables, 25, 25.
Okay. So lunch and dinner, are there foods that, well, I guess you don't really talk about foods we should avoid. Sorry, I've got something in my eye. Is there are there healthier meals that we can eat for those times a day versus things that we probably shouldn't?
Yeah, absolutely.
Limit to maybe once a month or something.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, with that mix in mind, people are, staying away, for instance, of sandwiches, and they're going to their salads for lunch. Well, they'd be surprised if I was here talking about the surprises that you get in so-called healthy foods that really are, I remember going out with my husband, and I ordered one of these salads at the 99 restaurant. And he had his hamburger and French fries. And he said, oh, you're eating so healthy. I said, I have to tell you, I have twice as many calories in my salad as you do in your hamburgers and French fries. So, you really have to watch the hidden stuff that they throw in there. So when you're talking about a healthy lunch, you really, again, should be cognizant of the fact that, am I getting this mix that I'm looking at? And in a lot of these salads and these sandwiches, you get a lot of things thrown in there that you don't know are really there. So for instance, in these Cobb salads, you have all the bacon bits in there, and then you have all the avocado, and then you have the egg, and then you have that's a lot of protein and a lot of fat in that salad. Versus if you had a sandwich, and you had your protein, you had your starches, the bread, and you had some wonderful vegetables in there, you're really getting a much more nutrient-dense, calorie-wise type of meal that's more balanced.
Okay.
So you really have to try to keep that in mind. Now, there's nothing wrong with having a salad and enjoying it, but just, understand that you're not always doing the so-called right thing by leaving out the bread. That's not the answer. It's by looking at what's in the content of what's being served to you.
Okay. So let's maybe cleave a little closer to our topic. If someone is looking to get healthy, to lose weight, but they've got a very limited budget, there's just not a whole lot of food budget. Protein costs money. Mm-hmm. Fresh produce costs money. What are some things that we can do as budget conscious people to lose weight and to be able to eat the right types of food?
Mm-hmm. So as I mentioned, keep that mix in mind because
Okay.
when you're going to the supermarket, if you spend a lot, the protein foods are the most expensive. So this mix I'm talking about is 25%. You don't need to have a humongous steak on your plate. You
Right.
can have a 4-ounce portion of steak and then fill the quarter of the plate with wonderful grains and have some fruits and vegetables there. You have a much more budget conscious situation. So if we go through the groups, if you will. The first thing is, before I even start that, buying whole, real foods rather than the processed will always be cheaper.
Okay.
It's obviously going to be more work than buying the packaged salads that are already cut up, but it will usually be lower in cost.
Okay.
The only exception to that are frozen vegetables, which a lot of times can be cheaper than fresh. And they're not any less nutritious. They are picked at the peak of nutrition and ripeness, and they are wonderful in terms of nutrition. So for fruits and vegetables, try to get whole. But again, you can do some processed frozen, and canned are also great. Um, Choose and season definitely the fruits and vegetables because they'll be taste better, they'll have better nutrition, and they'll cost less if
Okay.
they're in season. And buy them in season and freeze them. So if you want to do that as an option. For the grains, I would say that buying in bulk is a good way to save money. And again, as I talked about a quarter of the mix, you have some wonderful grains out there now that are very nutritious and they're out there. They haven't been out there or they have been and haven't been really publicized, like the farro and the quinoa and the couscous and, all of these wonderful grains that don't cost a lot of money at all. And they're power packed with nutrition and they're very filling and they can really control your appetite. So, keep that to trying to buy that in bulk. Now, when I talked about the whole versus the processed, I just want to touch on that a little bit because when you come to grains, there are ones that are pre-cooked or quick cooking, which are so-called processed, but they're not any less healthy than buying the ones that take 50 minutes to cook on your stove. The word processed has a bad name. People are very nervous and they stay away. Oh, I don't eat processed foods. I never buy convenience foods. There are a lot of processed convenience foods that are extremely healthy, no less healthy than the raw versions, and they cost less and they save time.
So what are some healthier processed foods versus the what someone who's health conscious but doesn't understand what you're talking about? What are those that we should be looking for?
Okay. So for instance, anything that's chopped, heated, pasteurized, changed in any way from its natural form is the definition of so-called processed.
Right.
So when you buy milk, for instance, that's homogenized, it's pasteurized, and it's fortified with vitamin D. So it makes processing the milk actually makes it healthier. The example of the vegetables, for instance, that are frozen, a lot of them are picked at the peak of ripeness, and you can get a much more nutritious bag of frozen vegetables than a fresh that's been traveling for days and has lost some of its freshness and lost some of its nutritional peak. So there's a lot of foods like grains that again have been packaged, but not with a lot of extra salt, not with a lot of extra fat, that are quick cooking, like quick cooking oats. There are packages of quinoa that are quick cooking, couscous, those types of things that can be healthier, being in the processed form. My book, Healthy Meals in Half the Time Cookbook, has a whole shopping guide in there, and it'll give you some really great brands that you can pick and choose that are a healthier version or just as healthy as the regular. So it'll give you some really good tips.
And where can we get that book?
It's on Amazon and Barnes & Noble.
All right. Well, I'll get a link to that and put it in the show notes for this episode. Excellent. All right. I appreciate that. In fact, I should jot that down. All right. Well, is there anything else that we need to know about losing weight on a budget?
The proteins. That's really important. So for the proteins, I would say that the best Quality proteins that are cost conscious would be eggs, cottage cheese, Greek yogurt is a really good source of protein that is tasty, and there's a lot of different varieties out there now. There's almond butter, which is a little higher in fat, but better than peanut butter. It gives you a better proportion of protein to fat in the almond butter. Meats like loins and center cuts are good choices of lean quality protein. Fish, canned tuna. You can also get in the supermarket a lot of frozen packages of pre-packaged fish that you can freeze, and it's a lot less expensive than buying the fresh. There's a lot of different cuts like tilapia, which is high in protein. You've got catfish. Salmon is great, but it's a little more expensive, very high in omega-3s. So make sure you get good quality, high quality proteins that are lean. Stay away from, well, I shouldn't say stay away, but try and moderate the amount of meats that are cured. It's like the hot dogs and the sausages, because they'll be very, very high in sodium. And they'll also have nitrates and nitrites in it, which are not the healthiest preservative to have. So,
excellent. All right. Well, I think that's covered all my bases. Is there anything else that we need to know?
No, I would just say, if you look at that mix and try and also focus on the amount of fat that you're adding in the preparation, that's a big key, because I think that's where we sometimes really miss the boat. We can order stir fry in a restaurant, and if you don't tell them to watch the amount of fat, or if you go to ones that are generous in terms of the amount of fat they use, they can use a quarter cup, a third of a cup of oil in that stir fry. You could have a Big Mac for the same number of calories that you're getting for the oil in that stir fry. And being in the restaurant business and working with chefs in the back, I know that they love to see food glisten and shine when it leaves the kitchen. So, people think, oh, well, olive oil, canola oil is healthy, and it is a healthier fat. But, we really have to moderate the amount that we're using to keep the calories controlled, but the health high.
Well, Franceen, I can't thank you enough for coming on. I'm sorry about the technical difficulties we had at the beginning, but I'm glad we got them straightened out. So again, Franceen, you can find more about her at tell me the name of your website. I don't have it in front of me.
Yeah, it's franceenfriefeld.com. Spelled, I don't know if it's up there. FR. It's just weird spelling my name. So FRANCEEN.
Right.
Friefeld, FRIEFELD.com.
Excellent.
And my book is available, Healthy Meals for Your Busy Life Cookbook, on Amazon, Barnes & Noble.
And we're going to have links to her website as well as links to her new book in the show notes. So if you're listening, you can go over to groceryshopforfree.com/podcast, and all the show notes will be there. If you're watching this on Blab Live, it'll be up tomorrow morning, so you can check that out then. So again, Franceen, I appreciate you coming on, and we will. I'll send you the links to all this once it's all up.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you, Franceen. You have a good day.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Do I want to kick this person? It says. Okay. Well, thanks again to Franceen for coming on. So let's go over the best deals for the week. There were not very many good grocery deals this week. There just weren't, unfortunately, and it's a little upsetting. You always want to look for the best deals. There is a good deal on tuna that we're going to talk about, but a lot of the foods that we're going to talk about that are on sale this week are the foods that Franceen told us to kind of stay away from a bit. So unfortunately, there's weeks like this where it's just kind of the unhealthiest stuff is what's available for cheap. So let's go through Albertsons. Albertsons had a few good deals. They had Bar S bologna and Bar S franks, both on sale for 88 cents each. And there is a $1 printable coupon for the Bar S bologna. So that makes them 55 cents each after the coupon. They also have Nature Valley granola bars on sale for $1.88. And there's a 50 cent off 2 coupon, a 50 cent off 2 Saving Star rebate. And so that means you can get them for $1.38 after getting them for that price at Albertsons or price matching at Walmart, and then getting the coupon and the Saving Star rebate. And don't forget, all of these are going to be in the show notes at groceryshopforfree.com/podcast, and we'll get you over there. The bologna coupons, as well as any other coupons you might want to find, you can look for them in the coupon database that's on my site, groceryshopforfree.com, and you'll see up at the top the coupon database up there. Just click on it, and you can search for any coupons there that you want, or you can come over. That's groceryshopforfree.com is actually my wife's site. You can go to my site, groceryshopforfree@themark.com, and we will have all that for you. Kroger has a really good deal on tuna fish. So there's no coupons or anything. It's just a price match, or you get it on sale at Walmart. They have Bumblebee Chunk Light Tuna. These are the 5-ounce cans, not the 2.5-ounce pouches. So these are the bigger cans for 50 cents each. In fact, that is a stock up price. I would get as many of those as you can at that price, because 50 cents for a can of tuna is a pretty good deal. Now, I don't know if any of y'all saw the article in couponsinthenews.com a couple days ago that all of the supermarkets are kind of banding together to sue all of the tuna manufacturers like Bumblebee Tuna and Chicken of the Sea and all that stuff, because they say that they are artificially inflating the prices of tuna. So this might be the beginning of some really cheap tuna prices as all these tuna manufacturers try to save a little face and give us some deals before this lawsuit hits the court. So hopefully that's what's happening. But at Kroger, Bumblebee Chunk Light Tuna for 50 cents. That's an excellent deal. They have Hamburger Helper on sale for $1. It's normally $1.25 or $1.50 at Walmart. So they've got on sale for $1 this week. There's a $1 off 5 coupon and a $1 off 5 Saving Star rebate. So you can get them for 60 cents a box, the Hamburger Helper, after both of those. Special K bars. In fact, Kroger has Special K everything. Special K bars, crisps, the cereal, all of it on sale for $1.99. There's all kinds of coupons you can use for them. There's a Saving Star rebate. You can get the bars for about 99 cents after all the available deals that are out there right now. So if you like Special K bars, this is probably the week to get a couple boxes. That's probably the cheapest that you're going to be able to find them. Also, Community Coffee. This is normally about $6 a bag at Walmart. So Kroger has them on sale for $3.99, and there's a $1.50 coupon, so you can get them for $2.50, $2.50 a bag after the price match in the coupon. If you're going to go to Kroger, if you're going to go to Walmart, do the price match. Either way, that's a pretty good deal on Community Coffee. The cheapest I've ever seen it is $1.99 a bag. So to be able to get it for $2.50 is, that's pretty darn cheap. Your local Safeway affiliate. Your local Safeway affiliate has Progresso soup on sale for $1.25, and there are 25% off coupons and 25% off Saving Star rebates. So it makes them 75 cents a can. That's a pretty good deal for Progresso soup. A couple weeks ago, we saw it for 50 cents after all the available rebates. So 75 cents a can is pretty good. That's about as cheapest as you're going to find it. And for my good friend Forza VV3 that's joining us in chat today on the Blab, Pop-Tarts. Safeway has Pop-Tarts on sale for $1.49. That's about 50 cents cheaper than the normal price. And then there are $1 off 3 printable coupons you can use to get them for, what would that be, $1.16 each after the coupon. So that's probably the cheapest that you're going to be able to find Pop-Tarts. So that's it for the really good price matches. There really weren't any fantastic printable coupons out this week. It's kind of a rough week for saving on groceries. In fact, I've already made the decision that I'm just going to buy the bare minimum of what I need and then maybe wait till next week and try to get some better deals then. Up on the blog, we have 12 freebies available at Walmart, and I'll put the link to those in the show notes, but 12 freebies available at Walmart this week. You can get totally free. Next week's coupons, there's only one insert coming out. So what would that be, January 17th? So we're not going to see a whole lot of relief in terms of coupons. In the last 2 weeks, we've seen 8 inserts, and there's been some really good deals. Next week, only one insert, not the best week for coupons. And in fact, I've already seen the coupon list, and we'll just have to kind of make do until we can get to some better deals. Now, hopefully you did get the 8 inserts from the last 2 weeks. I got my 10 bottles of Garnier Fructis shampoo and conditioner. So that's like 6 months worth of shampoo and conditioner I got for about $10. I got a bunch of tuna because of the coupons that came out last week. I got a bunch of Bird's Eye frozen vegetables. So there were some really good deals this last week with the coupons we got for the last couple of weeks. So I hope that you are shopping and doing well and using the coupons wisely to save on your grocery bill. So that's it. This is it for the Grocery Shop for Free podcast. Thank you again to Franceen for being on our website. And again, all the links to her stuff, her website, and her cookbook are going to be in the show notes, groceryshopforfree.com/podcast. Please remember to subscribe to us on iTunes or Stitcher, groceryshopforfree.com/iTunes or /Stitcher. We're recording this on Blab. If you want to come over to Blab and just search GSFF at the Mark, you should be able to find us. You can follow us there if you want. And please, when you subscribe to us, leave us a review. I'd love to hear what you have to say about the Grocery Shop for Free podcast. I appreciate you all for listening and sticking with us through the end of this thing. And again, to Franceen for being with us. And again, I apologize about the weird technical difficulties at the front end. That was a little odd, but I'm glad we were able to get you in and were able to listen to what you had to say. So I appreciate it, guys. We will talk to you next week. Bye-bye.